Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Today is June 21st, 2023, and we are getting into the volume 123 of me answering your immigration related questions. As you can see, I have all your comments pulled up in front of me. Before beginning this video, as always, I'm going to mention I am not an immigration attorney. This is not a legal advice. All the information provided in these videos on this channel are directly from official government sources like USCIS and of course the Department of State with their visa bulletin. So let's start with the very first question from Global Signal. Global Signal says, at the moment I have been interviewed at the consulate, but they replied that they could not print a visa because the priority date does not yet correspond to the valid one, F2A. The USCIS website says current month adjustment of status filing charts for family-sponsored filings. For all family-sponsored preference categories, you must use the date for filing chart in the Department of State Visa Bulletin for June 2023. Table B. In this table, I observe the current status. For what reason does the consulate follow Table A and not Table B as stated on the USCIS website? Please explain to me. Global Signal. First of all, I wanted to say this is a very interesting, strange case. I've never heard of anything like this before where the interview is actually scheduled and you go to the interview to the consulate and they don't give you the visa because it's not yet, because your priority date is not yet current, it's not yet available. It's really strange because usually, well, I would say, I guess 99% of the cases, they schedule these interviews only when the immigrant visa is already available. So I wonder how this happened. I would really be interested to hear a little bit more about it if you can submit a follow-up comment. Now to your question, the difference between Table A and Table B. Unfortunately, it is true. Table A is the table that shows the actual availability of the immigrant visa from the very beginning to the very end when the immigrant visa is available. Roughly, because again, whenever it comes to the visa bulletin, it's very rough priority dates. Just because your priority date is current in the visa bulletin, it still does not mean that your immigrant visa is available, because if you had a delay in your case, if something did not go smoothly as planned, is going to be longer than what the visa bulletin says. Now the difference between the graph A and graph B is that graph B is showing people when the NVC portal is opening up. And if you look at the visa bulletin, you will see that for F2A, which is your category, F2A, the graph B is current, meaning that once the USCIS approves the I-130 and transfers the case to the NVC, there is really no wait time before the portal at the NVC opens up so that you can become documentarily qualified. Once the case is transferred, the portal immediately opens up and then you can start your documentary qualification process. And these are, for F2A it is current. For everybody else, for F1 for example, if people have filed back in September 2017, their priority date back in September 2017, they are, as of right now, July 2023, the portal for the NVC is fully opening up to become documentarily qualified. Now, the graph A is what's showing the availability of the immigrant visa, the full length, not just the NVC portal opening up, but the actual immigrant visa becoming available. So the same for F1, for example, if right now for people with priority date is September 2017, the portal is opening up, the immigrant visa is becoming available for people with a priority date back in December 2014. So for F2A, which is your category, depending on when your priority date is, when you have initially filed your I-130 petition, people roughly with the priority date in September 2020, as of right now, July 2023, their immigrant visa is becoming available. So hopefully that makes sense. If you have any follow-up questions, don't hesitate to ask them. And I would really like to hear how it happened with you that the interview was scheduled at the consulate without the immigrant visa being current on the visa bulletin, according to the consulate. But if you want, let me know what your priority date is and the chargeability area, and please post the category again, and we will take a look at the visa bulletin together, and I will, try to provide, to the best of my ability, the rough estimate on when the immigrant visa is going to be available. Okay, let's move on to the next one from Patricia P. 9709. Hi sir, just want to let you know that I sent the NVC a public inquiry and also an email concerning my daughter, whose priority date is March 2017 and category is F1. As usual, I got a generated answer back on both of them. Okay, so let's take a look at the visa bulletin. March 2017 F1. So right now, so if I remember correctly, Patricia, the NVC portal for your daughter has not been opened up just yet. It's still closed. So right now it's showing September 17 and your daughter's priority date is in March 2017. So it is, let's see, April, May, June, July, August. So roughly 6 months overdue now for the NVC portal to open up. So let's do this. Let's wait for the next issue of the visa bulletin, for the August 2023 visa bulletin, and see if there are any updates in general for the F1 category. If there is no movement, then we might suspect that, they kind of jumped the gun, because you're not the only one that have the same issue. I've already had several comments from people that as of July visa bulletin issue, they had their priority date way overdue for the NVC portal to open up, and it's still not opening up. Very similar situation to your daughter's situation, like 6 months. So if there is no update on August visa bulletin, then I would recommend searching for other avenues and actually reaching out to, obviously you're here in the United States, depending on which state you are in, do the research on who the local elected officials are, congressmen, senators, and do some research on their website, which one of them actually help immigrants with this kind of immigrant issues. And reach out to them and tell them that you tried to resolve the issue on your own directly with NVC by sending the emails. You can send them the copies of the emails, you can send them the copies of the responses, and that they just keep giving you these boilerplate responses and nothing is happening. So I think that would be the next step, but I would give it just another, roughly another month, because, we're probably going to get the August visa bulletin in the beginning of July, probably by, first, second week of July. So let's take a look at that first, and if there's nothing, then I would start reaching out to these local elected officials, because 6 months overdue, especially if you didn't have any kind of delays along the case. And for example, when I say delays, I think of something like, you submitted your I-130 to USCIS and there was some kind of mistake in the application, or something was missing and they sent it back, and then you sent it back to them, and back and forth. That kind of stuff can cause the delays in availability of the immigrant visa, in, of course, the administrative processing. But if you didn't have anything like that, 6 months is a little bit of a long time, and I think you already need to start looking into the avenues on how to resolve this issue on your own. I have a video on this channel. I don't remember what it is called. I'm gonna post my response, and then I will try to find it at the end of this video, and I'll post the link for this video. But it's called basically addressing or something along those lines, resolving the problems with USCIS and NVC, how to resolve the problem with those government agencies, basically. So you probably want to take a look at that one, and because that I think that might be the way to go for you with this situation. And really for everyone else, if you have a problem like this, then you might want to start looking into other avenues of resolving these problems, because obviously direct communication with these government agencies, you see, it unfortunately doesn't always work. Okay, moving further to the next question, comment from Gnarly Fry 4667. Hey, my priority date is June 27, 2010. Rest of the world, F3 category. How long more do I have? Alrighty, let's take a look at the visa bulletin. I'm going to look at the graph A. F3, right now it is on December 2008 for all chargeability for the rest of the world, December 2008. And gnarly fry is in June 2010. So gnarly, December 2008 is pretty much 2009. So you are roughly looking at another year. Let's see, year, this is June 2010 and almost 2009. So yeah, you're roughly looking at another year and a half, I would say. December 2008 and June, my math is horrible. I'm sorry about that. But as of right now, as of July 2023, people in F3 categories with their priority dates back in 22nd December 2000, around December 2008, are just now, their immigrant visas are becoming available. Yours is in June 2010, so you roughly have another year and a half. I think my math is not very good on that, probably a little bit more, but that's what you're roughly looking at, another year and a half to become current for your immigrant visa to become available. Okay, so let me pause this right here and we're gonna move on further to the next question from Naj RJ6765. I read in a forum this data, is it true? 26K F2B visa per fiscal year, out of that DR already got 9K plus. DR, I'm assuming that's Dominican Republic, if I'm correct, I don't know. Still left few more months to end this year. They will easily get 13K plus. That means only 50% for rest of the world. Okay, well, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but if you want to take a look at the exact numbers, I would recommend, instead of using the forums, I would recommend using obviously the Department of State website, and you can find them here in the visa statistics. Let's see if we can pull it up and see. So this is for this year, per fiscal year. So let's take a look and see if we can find that information. So report for, well, for this year it's not showing yet. We can see the monthly immigrant visa issuance, or we can also see the 2022. But honestly, I would stick to 2022 just to see the full scope. And if we see that there's a lot of issuance for Dominican Republic, you know, in the previous years, then that information that you have might be correct. But let's take a look. So family preferences, fiscal year 2022 by foreign state of chargeability. Yes, that's what we need. Let's see. So this is for Africa. This is Asia. We are looking for not Europe. Let's take a look. North America, Dominican Republic. So in Dominican Republic, let's see, total issuance of well, I mean, it's nothing crazy, 12,918 total. But then there is obviously Mexico, which is much more than that, almost double. And then quite a lot from El Salvador, quite a lot from Cuba. So I don't know, total, there's much more issuance of the immigrant visas, that are being issued. But let's see which category you're asking. You're asking about F2B specifically. So let's take a look at the F2B. F2B is this one right here. So 3,808 total immigrant visas in F2B category issued for Dominican Republic. 3,808. I wouldn't. It's a lot more than for El Salvador. It's more than for Mexico. It is absolutely 100% true. So yes, it's very possible that the numbers that you gave me might be correct. But again, I'm gonna paste this link right here so that you can do your own research if you want to look deeper into the statistics. Let's see. Here we go. I'm gonna post this because this is the original source of the information, government website. Okay, let's move on to the next question from Harsh Makadia 148. My file is F2B from India and the priority date is June 2016, and also it's documentarily qualified since August 2021. Any idea when I get my visa interview? Thanks in advance. Alrighty, thank you for your question. Let's take a look. Let me close all of this stuff right here so it doesn't cause the confusion. So let's see, June 2016. F2B, and it is India. So let's see, we're gonna look at the graph A, F2B, India. So it looks like right now the priority date for which the immigrant visas are becoming available is September 2016, and you are in June 2016. So you are roughly, well, that's even less than a year actually. Or is it? No, actually it's more than a year. Sorry about that. See, math is absolutely horrible. 2015 September 2015, and you are in June 2016. Nope, I was correct. Actually, less than a year. I would say about, let's see, September is, we got October, November, December, and then June is 6. So you have about 9 months. 9 months until the availability of the immigrant visa. Keep in mind, it's a rough estimate because things might slow down as they usually do, unfortunately, with the visa backlog. So it might be a little bit more, but as of right now, judging by the visa bulletin, that's what we're looking at, roughly another 9 months for the actual availability of the immigrant visa. Okay, let's move on to the next question coming from Joanne Columbis. 941, good day. I just want to know, actually, we are filing for I-130 dated March 30 of 2022, and the status for now is actively reviewing as of January 11, 2023. Our concern is that if there is a new update of the given site of the USCIS, probably the statement of the link or website will change. Yes, Joanne, absolutely. Once there is an update, you will definitely see the change. Not only you will see the change on the USCIS website, but you will also receive the actual notice of action saying if your case is approved, that your case was approved, or if there is some kind of, for example, additional evidence that is required, then you will receive that. If you want to find out a little bit more information, you can actually let me know which category you're in, and I can take a look myself at the USCIS website and tell you approximately how long these cases take to process, because there is actually a processing processing times available on USCIS website. So if you want, please submit additional comment and I will be able to possibly give you more information. Okay, moving further to the next question from Caleb. Caleb Nick, what a QWERTY 2867, can you correct a minor mistake on your DS-260, such as missing middle name at your interview? Yes, Caleb, absolutely, you can definitely do that, but honestly, I would recommend actually, if it's possible, if you're talking about the NVC portal, because once you submit your DS-260, that's it. It's closed. It's grayed out. You can't access it anymore. I would actually, if there is still time until the interview, if there's still, at least 3-4 months, maybe more, up until the interview, up until the availability of the immigrant visa, I would recommend trying to fix it beforehand, because middle name, it's middle name. It's part of your name, and it's the kind of information that you don't want to be missing. All right. So the way to do it, if we're talking about the NVC portal and your DS-260 grayed out, is to actually reach out to the NVC through the public inquiry and ask them to open up the DS-260 once again so that you can fix the mistake. And I'll show you how to do that, how to find the public inquiry form. Let me post this response here, and I will type in the link, because I'll paste the link for the public inquiry form. So this is the Visa Bulletin website for July 2023. It is available in the description, and that goes, if anyone needs to contact NVC, this is how you do it. Through this website right here, travel.state.gov. Again, the link for this website is in the description below. So once you open up this page, you will click on the very top right here. You see Contact Us. I'm going to actually open it in New tab, and we'll scroll down a little bit and click on US Visas Contacts right here. And then you'll scroll down a little bit more, and in the very first row of this table, you will see Email Public Inquiry Form. So click on the Public Inquiry Form, scroll down a little bit more, Online Immigrant Visa Inquiries Only Public Inquiry Form. So click on this Public Inquiry Form right here, and then you will have the Public Inquiry Form in front of you. So you're going to need to put the NVC case number right here, beneficiary's full name, beneficiary's date of birth, petitioner's full name, who you are, beneficiary or the petitioner, the email address, And then in your inquiry, you can just type in, hey, my name is this and that, my case number is this. The reason I'm sending this inquiry is because I need to make a correction in the DS-260 that was already submitted within my NVC portal. So if you can open it back up so that I can add my middle name, this is my middle name, so far so forth, and then you can actually attach the screenshot of the DS-260 being grayed out, and you can actually attach your birth certificate or passport, whatever, showing your middle name. And then they will be able to open it up for you so that you can correct this mistake. So let me copy this link right here, post it right here, and we're gonna move on to the next question comment from Heldi Velasquez, 4887. Hi, I'm waiting for an interview at the American consulate in La Paz, Bolivia, for my son who lives outside the USA. Should I look for the final or filing date? My priority date is December 2017. Heldi, thank you very much for the question. So you're talking about the graph A and the graph B. So filing date, graph B, is if you're still waiting for the NVC portal to open up to become documentarily qualified. If your son is already documentarily qualified by NVC, everything is done, and you're just looking to see when the interview is going to be scheduled, meaning that when the immigrant visa is going to be available and the interview is scheduled for it, you are looking at the graph A final action dates, because that's what the final action date basically stands for, when the final action on the case will be basically taken and the immigrant visa becomes available. So let's see, you are waiting for an interview. So I'm assuming your son is already documentarily qualified, lives in Bolivia. So I'm assuming you're a US citizen filing for your son who is over 21. F1, I'm thinking F1 category, priority date December 2017. So let's take a look at the visa bulletin. So for F1, if you are a US citizen and your son is unmarried, over 21, then it's going to be F1 category, and the charge for all chargeability area, which is, Bolivia is within all chargeability area, is going to be December 14. And your son is priority date is in December 2017. So if your son is in F1 category, if that's what we're talking about, then roughly another 3 more years for the availability of the immigrant visa. But if you want a little bit more accurate, still rough estimate, but a little bit more accurate, let me know what the category is, and then post the priority date once again, and I will take a look at the visa bulletin once again and give you a little bit more personalized, because right now I'm guessing that he is in F1 category, because he might be in F2B, F2A, F3, depending on whether you are a permanent resident or a US citizen, depending on whether he is married or unmarried, if he's over 21 or under 21. Okay, moving further to the next comment from Rihanna Singh, 9135, says, thank you, sir, for answering my question. God bless you, Rihanna. Thank you very much for your kind comment. God bless, and hopefully you found my answer helpful. Moving further to Barbara Duarte, 653, thanks for answering. Barbara, you are very welcome. Hopefully my answer was helpful. Moving further to Remedios Donato 196. I am an American citizen. I did petition my children over 21. Their priority date is 2017. Was approved their case, are in the NVC long time ago. What do you think? So Remedios, again, it depends if your children are over 21. It depends if they're married or unmarried. If they're unmarried, it's going to be F1 category. If they're married, it's going to be F3 category. So their priority date is in 2017. So if we look at the visa bulletin, for F1, it is December 2014, and for F3, it is December 2008. So as you can see, there's a huge difference between the two. So let's look at the F1. I'm going to assume that they are unmarried. And you let me know in a follow-up comment if they are actually married, then we're going to be looking at the F3. But if they are unmarried, we're looking at the F1 category. For F1, right now, as of June, July 2023, it is December 2014. So people with their priority dates in December 2014 in F1 category are just now getting their immigrant visas. Okay, their immigrant visas are becoming available. So if their priority date is in 2017, you are roughly looking at another 3 more years to wait until the availability of the immigrant visa. So let me know, Remedios, if I'm correct, if they're in F1 category, and if they're not, let me know what their category is, and I will give you a little better estimates, instead of coming to my own conclusions. Okay, moving further to Elliot Shipamba, 2388. I was refused giving a visa because of public charges. That was not really a good reason, on my opinion, because the visa was for the DV lottery. How someone win the DV lottery can be a public charges, because it's getting his green card and will be working till now. I really see that was unfair on the USA government. So Elliot, this is really strange. So if I understand your comment correctly, you won the DV lottery, you were selected through the DV lottery, and when you went to actually get your immigrant visa to the embassy for the interview, they refused it because they said that you are going to be a public charge. Now, I'm not super familiar with the DV lottery, but I'm pretty sure that there isn't really, as someone who wins the DV lottery, I don't think that you can even apply for the public benefit. Again, I might be wrong because, again, like I said, I'm not very familiar with the whole DV lottery, but I'm pretty sure that once you win the DV lottery, you don't qualify for any kind of public benefits. So you come into the United States and you cannot apply for any public benefits. So it is really strange that they kind of assumed that you are going to be a public charge by getting an immigrant visa and coming to the United States. It does sound really unfair. So if you can, please explain the situation a little bit more. Exactly what happened. Did you go to the US embassy? Did you speak to the consul and for the actual immigrant visa, and then they told you no at the embassy? Or have you received this response some kind by email or something along those lines? And if you did get any kind of written statement saying that you are a public charge and that they can't issue you the immigrant visa, then I would recommend trying to find other avenues instead of working with them directly, but maybe possibly actually hiring an attorney, because you were selected for the DV lottery, and if there is no reason for them to to assume that you're going to be a public charge, then it's really strange. The whole situation, honestly, is strange to me because, well, like I said, when you are selected through the DV lottery, when you immigrate to the United States through the DV lottery, as far as I know, there is no way for you to claim any public benefits anyway. So I'm not sure why is that they decided that you are going to be a public charge. So if you can, please let me know a little bit more. And if I understand it correctly, I think you should start searching for other avenues to resolve this problem through most likely hiring an immigration attorney and working with an attorney to resolve this. Okay, let's move on to probably our last question for today from French Frisky. Hi, I'm from Philippines. My category is F2A and my priority date is August 2020. Is it possible to receive an interview letter this year? I got documentarily qualified last May 2023. Thank you for your answer. God bless. French Frisky, thank you very much for your kind comment. God bless you too. So congratulations on becoming documentarily qualified. That's fantastic. That's a huge milestone to be accomplished. Let's take a look at what's going on with the F2A for Philippines, because Philippines, they have their own separate chargeability area. So you're already documentarily qualified. So we're just waiting for the availability of the immigrant visa. So let's see. F2A Philippines looks like people with the priority date in September 2020 are getting their immigrant visas as of right now, June, July 2023. And your priority date is actually in August 2020. So you were a month behind. So yes, absolutely. I am pretty sure that you will have your interview scheduled this year. Usually whenever you have your immigrant visa available and you're already documentarily qualified and everything is done, usually you're looking most of the times somewhere between 3 and 4 months for the interview to be scheduled. Sometimes it takes up to 6 months, and I have actually seen some cases where it takes like 9 months, even for immediate relative. It really depends on how busy the U.S. embassy is in the country where you're going to be going through, for the interview. So what you can do if you want, it's really no rush. I would give it another month or two actually for the administrative processing for them to schedule the interview. And if you don't hear anything in the next couple months, you can actually reach out to the U.S. Embassy in the Philippines and ask them, say, hey, I'm documentarily qualified, my immigrant visa is already available. I just wanted to see when my interview was scheduled for. Sometimes they can give you that information over the phone. Sometimes they can say, I'm sorry, we can't give you that information. It happens. Don't be too upset. But the bottom line is that they can't send you the notice with the interview date earlier than 30 days. So if your interview was scheduled, if it was already scheduled, which honestly, it's possible, very possible that your interview was already scheduled. It's just you didn't get the notice yet. If it was, for example, scheduled for October 1st, you won't receive the notice of the interview until September 1st because they have to give you 30 days notice so that you can do your medical examination within the 30 days, if that makes sense. So chances are your interview is already scheduled. It's just you're not going to know when it was scheduled up until the 30 days until the actual interview date. But congratulations, you're almost there. So thank you everyone for all your questions today. Really appreciate your questions. As always, hopefully my answers were helpful. Thank you for your time. God bless, and I'll see you all in the next video.